Welcome back to the Gouveia Margaret River Pro, currently being staged at Gracetown. We're here at North Point for the first time ever for a championship tour event, and we're now about to see the current world #1, Owen Wright. What a story in the first event of the year, an amazing return to competition. He's up against the most successful rookie so far in 2017, Connor O'Leary, along with Ian Gouveia.
With heat's going, but it'll get too low. So you kind of that mid-tide is really nice. Get to stand up on that outside bank. As you see, a beautiful tube ride attempt here from Owen Wright. Backsiders have been able to find it water movement in chunks. It's not a smooth bottom.
Owen taking a couple of waves on the head, but Ian Gouveia, meanwhile, racing down the line. A lot of speed for this line through the barrel. And now he gets that cover, and he's still going through this one. He's going to get the exit, just hangs onto that wall, throws a couple of shuckers out to the ski.
Speed up, beautiful looking wave off the takeoff. Again, trying to drag, does not get any barrel time here, but he sees down the line it's going to start to barrel again. There he slows down. At this point, he is deep as can be and comes flying out. Ian Gouveia, what a start. This is the angle we're going to check here. You're looking directly into the hole. Again, speeding up, so the hard speed slows back down, puts the bum on the wall to slow down. Look at this section here as it just goes into that shallow water, holes out. Nice start for I'm going to call him Fabio.
Nice.
For Ian Gouveia.
Look,
you just look
using
and see
the handbrake.
And that's what you have to do. That's the advantage to the backhand, is you're able to slow yourself down, not with just your hand, but with your bum. You can drag it in there, and the best guys on their backhand can read that so well. Kelly Slater, Andy Irons, John Florence, and even this kid right here, Ian Gouveia.
Well, Ian Gouveia, he drops a 4.5. So I might want to just reel in the claims a little bit, but it's got to feel good. It's been tricky to connect with that inside barrel, as we see Owen right up now. Owen just clicking back into that same rhythm that saw him take the title at the first stop on the championship tour. Stringing together some nice turns, but I don't think it's going to...
Yeah, you know, 4.5, that's fair. That's not even a good wave, you know, and judges taking note that it's the end of the wave. It almost feels like, too, that the beginning of that portion of that wave wasn't utilized to its full potential, and the judges taking note of that.
You've got two youngsters really keeping an eye on Owen, maybe as a reference point to where to sit in this lineup, because Connor and Ian obviously not with a lot of experience here at North Point.
And you're right. I think that it's tough too when you don't have a lot of sets to kind of read off of, because generally too, even if you've got a lineup at a home break, as you watch the replay here of the 3.93, good rhythm like you had mentioned, that pace, the judges eat that up.
Two youngsters really keeping an eye on Owen, maybe as a reference point to where to sit in this lineup, because Connor and Ian obviously not with a lot of experience here at North Point.
And you're right. I think that it's tough too when you don't have a lot of sets to kind of read off of, because generally too, even if you've got a lineup at a home break, as you watch the replay here of the 3.93, good rhythm like you had mentioned, that pace, the judges eat that up. It's not like you're rushing to go to your turns. It's just so easy to watch, and they're big, strong turns.
Well, Owen right there just selling Connor O'Leary on this wave. He wanted to get that second priority, and Connor just trying to find his flow down the line here. Doesn't quite lay down any turns that are going to fetch him decent scores to get into this heat.
Kind of scanning the inside, taking a look at where he was, triangulating.
Speaking of scanning, look at Owen Wright. He loves a slabbing right-hander, and he is tucked in deep, goes looking for the exit and gets sandwiched between the lip. Watching him closely to see how he pops up and reacts, but how's the read on that first section?
Well, how's the read on where he was in the lineup? I mean, he went deep. He went out and to the right, sitting in a complete own section. That's that same section we saw Kelly get away, but look at how hollow and wild that wave is, and then kind of tries to get out that doggy door, and this cannot get out. I mean, it is challenging. Look at the double up. How shallow that is.
How do you negotiate those tricky takeoffs, Pete?
Well, you absorb it, you know, and I think that's experiences, but look at this. He grabs the rail, high and tight. You almost saw that back tail kind of cut loose. Here he knows it's going to shut down, so he tries to get out the bottom, and no dice. Just takes it on the gome. And you're right. You do wonder, at that point, because it is, 4 feet of water, 3 feet of water at that point. He did, something happened there a little bit. I mean, look at, you're right.
Glute.
His glute. Okay, his bum. Well, he's wearing Oz. Gets around this corner, though, but look at that. It is a great read.
Wow.
Gets super tight to his board, but that rail grab, too, is able to kind of extend. And that's the advantage of being super tall like that, too. He's able to kind of maneuver even though he's grabbing the rail because he's so tall. Just too bad he couldn't get out of it.
It's been fun to watch this amazing return. A program in Australia, and it's the surfer in white with priority. Ian Gouveia thread his way through a nice inside pit just moments ago. He's going to take to the air now and lands that air reverse. Plugged it on the roof, rode out, floated down off the roof, and gets the completion.
John Florence. So seeing that this wave was going to shut down pretty quickly, he just picks up some speed, puts the board into the wind. It's not going to be as big a score as, say, probably what we saw from John Florence. Main reason being is that he didn't get that complete rotation. He landed on the roof kind of backwards and then rotated out. Still pretty neat to do, though. I mean, when you land backwards on the lip like that and then rotate out and fall down, going to be a pretty good score.
The man in yellow having a look at this one. And he's going to take off. Gliding through that backhand carve to set up this section. And he's going to swing at it. And a big backhand hit as the wave shuts down. Obviously some fans of Owen on the beach. And Connor O'Leary now tucking into a nice looking pit, figuring this wave out. I doubt he'd had too many sessions out here.
Be fairly comfortable looking over the ledge. Beautiful wave here. I mean, he was happy to be in perfect position for this set wave, second wave of the set. So he had that barrel off the takeoff. Would have been nice to be able to complete that wave. I mean, again, now we're starting to throw down comparisons. Where does this wave go in comparison to Ian Gouveia's barrel? I would say it's a bigger wave, probably not as deep, not as long, but he had the maneuvers. So it'll be right in that kind of same zone. And of course, Owen Wright, that bottom turn, he had a little bit of a bobble, held it together though, but this was beautiful, straight up into it. That's the kind of surfing that we saw him win at the Quiksilver Pro. This is going to be a beautiful shot here. You can see he's able to torque around his hips. His body rotates completely towards the lip.
We'll have a look at North Point starting to really line up now, and Ian Gouveia picks a really clean track through this barrel and sets up the inside once again. Stylish entry into this little cup, and he's going to find the exit. He's having a lot of fun out there at the moment. Just under 13 minutes to go going through this clash.
Look at that. I mean, that's a double overhead wave here. Sets it up perfectly. Low road to pull in. He would have been motivating and getting himself up into the rail to get a drive through that next section. So great technique. That was not easy to do. This is going to be a great angle of it. You see, he pulls in high and then goes low and has to drive through the foam ball, which he does. That tripod stance, when you've got the rail grab like that, allows you to kind of go over that foam pretty easily. But just great read. He was able to know that was going to happen and then just got himself nice and sturdy and plowed through it. And now he's looking at it going, hey, give me a score here.
I like it. Well, here we go. We got some movement at the moment. Owen Wright with a crafty takeoff there, but doesn't find the open face. Is a barrel with a big air on the end section.
Yep. Or even a double barrel with a big air in the end section. I mean, that's kind of what it is. You can get ones that'll barrel off that main takeoff and then go into the crease one. I mean, this one, again, this went into the crease and was a long barrel, but that was the one section, right? Whereas you can easily have two really beautiful barrels and even getting a final section where you can do something pretty amazing as a maneuver. So that.
And it really throws you off. You're sitting out there pretty tense. You're like, okay, there's a bomb coming right now. I got to be ready for this thing. And then it just doesn't come. And so it's kind of frustrating to know whether to go inside or outside. And I did that a couple times. But I ended up getting a couple fun ones. Wish I could have gotten one of those bombs.
2.5 minutes to go here, and Connor O'Leary's going to get a shot. Good looking wall. A casual drop. Takes a clean line into this barrel. Rides high for a moment. And he's going to find his way through this one. So that thing opening up nicely from the surfer from Cronulla Beach. He's going to kick out.
Bigger wave. He waits awful lot off the bottom. Sets it up. That section right there where it clamped and kind of had to go through it was very difficult. Did well. Very similar to what we saw from Ian Gouveia, planning himself and just riding through the storm, just eyeing it through, because it probably would have been blind. You know, right there you can see that little foamy section, and it just creates that foam that he had to climb and ride over, which he did well. You can see the board started to shift a little bit, but he was able to hang on, and he gets a final maneuver here. So is this better than his 6.07? I would say probably a little more difficult barrel to ride.
And they said no, it wasn't enough for Connor O'Leary, but less than a point, much less than a point, separating Ian Gouveia and Connor O'Leary. Owen Wright, he's got some work to do. He's going to have to bounce back in the second round